morning from Buenos Aires, Argentina. We are live at the World Congress of Nephrology 2024 Convention Center, and we are discussing about one very important initiative of International Society of Nephrology, that is the Continuing Medical Education Committee. I have with me very important stalwarts of International Society of Nephrology, and I will request all three of them to introduce themselves.
Well, good morning. I'm Rümeyza Kazancioglu, the chair of the ISN Fellowship Committee.
Good morning. I'm Adrian Liew. I'm an adult nephrologist from Singapore. I'm the incoming deputy chair for the ISN CME Committee.
Good morning. I'm Jaime Restrepo from Cali, Colombia, South America. I'm the chair of my pediatric nephrology program, and I belong to the Sister Renal Center program.
I'll start with Adrian.
Yeah.
What is CME Committee? How do you interpret it? How do you sort of feel what it does for the society?
So I think the CME Committee is a very good conduit between ISN and the experts and members of the ISN with a lot of the other nephrology and professional societies around the world. I think the CME Committee provides support for many affiliated societies, not just physicians, but I think nursing, pediatrics societies in many parts of the world to have access to experts in the field so that they can go to their meetings and provide their insights on the various up-and-coming topics in nephrology. So the CME Committee provides that availability for local society to receive these speakers and gain experience and knowledge from them.
I think I agree with him. And when we were students, we really benefited from the CMEs and our conferences, and we got to listen to stalwarts about whom we only knew about in our textbooks.
Yeah.
And to see them talk to in our meetings was a rich and a very, very inspiring experience.
Yeah, I think the important thing is not everyone can go to big conferences. And in big conferences, it's so many people, and you have very little time to interact with these experts. So when we bring these experts to the local society, they could help to contextualize how the cutting-edge science can be applicable to that society. You have opportunities for the young trainees to get inspired by having these one-on-one interactions at the end of each talk that it's almost difficult in a large meeting. And I think that's, in fact, the value of having the CME Committee. And as young trainees, as you said, we are often seeing people, names in manuscript that we've never seen in person, and to have them come to your own country and give you that information is really very inspiring.
Jaime, may I ask you this question, because you have been part of organizing many of these CMEs. How do you think the International Society of Nephrology CME Committee has benefited South America and the CMEs that you have organized?
Yes, first, we thank the International Society of Nephrology because as pediatric nephrology group, we don't have so much support like the adult nephrology has. For that reason, in pediatric nephrology in my country, we lack many things the education as the main mission of the International Society of Nephrology. We took that like a first approach to get information in the community about the International Society of Nephrology. And not only our proper speaker in each region, we trying to get more information with a speaker from other part of our region, from Latin America, for example, but at the same time, trying to get the community, the speaker that were working with us in many other fields. For example, in the Children's Hospital at my General Hospital, we have a very good relationship, and try at the beginning of the program to get support from them. And in this way, continual medical education support our activities, and no other from the North American, from the Latin American. And we, in 2 or 10 years, in 3 or 5 years at the beginning of the program, we have a huge information and very good support from the CME committee. This is the reason that we have a great deal of support from the International Society of Nephrology supporting our programs.
I think when the relationship starts, it continues forever.
Forever.
I've also realized the speakers we had for one of our CME meetings went on to become our mentors, part of our sister renal center initiatives. So it's just the beginning, and then the CME committee takes it forward and links, as you said, with other communities, other societies.
For example, we used to invite the pathology and other people from the adult nephrology to support our activities, and including psychology, including nurses from other centers that support many things that we want and to need to improve in our program.
If I may ask you, you have been a speaker, not in our World Congresses, but you have supported many CME meetings. What do you think is the unique feature of these CMEs, and what you should think about the future, and a message for the International Society of Nephrology to make them better?
Sure. Before we move to the future, I'll just take back to the past, where Adrian was talking about the impact of the CME courses that ISN had. We all do remember the CME course that we had in 1997 in Istanbul, which was a great event. And at that time, it was called the Comgan. The other ISN members would remember that name. And the
It
former...
gives you an indication how old you are.
Yes, indeed. And with John Dirks and the other team, and we still have that booklet, which we referred to, that had an impact on the nephrology community of Turkish Society of Nephrology, and we were not young nephrologists at that time. And networking actually started after that meeting, where I had an interview with them to become a fellow, an applicant of a fellow, heard about the fellowship program, and it's not just a CME course that you meet with the experts and see people there, feel about their culture and how they practice nephrology. As we all know, it's not same worldwide. We have restrictions or challenges or some solutions to those problems actually. And with the courses that I have attended, being the former chair of East and Central Europe region of ISN, I attended many CME courses within the region at different countries where actually they hadn't had a previous course of ISN. And the courses were with basic courses towards the newer nephrologists, younger nephrologists at the beginning of their career or training, and it was just basics. But then we moved forward as the years passed along to research-based, CME courses where there were more people interested in research, more scientific programs were initiated. But I not only got involved in this region, but also in the Middle East region and also in Russia region. So I got to know all of these younger colleagues of mine, especially our former fellows who got, our grants or scholarships from the committee. So it's a great opportunity to do networking and actually guide those people living in different regions and learn about their experiences and take those experiences back to our country or the other regions as well. So it's been a great honor.
Future, you want to say something to?
Yes, for the future now, everyone has, as you were alluding to, great ideas to have different kinds of programs, CME courses. Sometimes we go back to the basics, the old basics, where we start from scrap. But now we are more updated with all the programs going around ISN, with the Young Nephrology Committee and the ISN Academy. Everything is there online, and we have resources to share all around the world. So the topics are changing, and the younger generation is actually challenging us to come up with brighter ideas, like we had different kinds of meetings going on in this Congress, actually, which was fantastic.
Yes, I do want to add, and I think that it is not only the audience who get taught, it is the speaker who gets taught very much
Really,
as well.
yes.
We see ingenious ways of managing patients that we would never have known that is being practiced from the books. The other thing, I think, the benefit of a CME speaker and the committee that can help to facilitate is that, rather than have a speaker fly all the way to that country just to give one or two talks, we often took the opportunity to do rounds in the hospitals, to have that nice interactions with young fellows. So can you imagine that the person who discovered the treatment for IgA nephropathy and be there going through the cases and sharing the experience? I think that's also a very valuable point. So I think moving forward in the future, it's not just going there to give a talk, but to have that nice interaction.
So Adrian, I think you're going to be the incoming deputy chair.
Yes, I
And
am.
as ISN expands its footprint to remote parts of the world, how do you think, I am also part of it and we get a lot of applications. How do you think, or what do you think is a good application and how does it catch the eye? And how does we as a part of the CME committee accept or reject? It is for the members.
Yeah.
Mara does the first work for us. She sort of polishes the application. But then you need to tell us what should a member, when they apply for a CME course, not for the accreditation, what do they should do as a good application?
So I think the first step is to apply. I think we get a lot of applications from people who have done the applications multiple times, but we do want to get applications from every part of the world. We want to be able to bring, the cutting edge science. We want to bring the experience, not necessarily just cutting edge, but experience of speakers managing nephrology issues to all parts of the world, especially in places where there are low resources. I think that's where we want to bring in. So number one, please apply. Number two, I think the important thing is that when we apply for a CME support, I think it's important to have an idea what you want to achieve. I think the CME committee is really here to support all forms of educational activities for years and years to come. So we're not hoping to achieve everything at one go, but I think the applicants needs to have a clear idea that they want to develop perhaps pathology this year. They want to develop maybe hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis. So if they are very clear, then we could help to match the correct speaker for that. And I think if they already have a skeletal program before they make the application. So we have seen applications that says, please help us to develop the program. I think we can, but I think we will not know what is important in your country. So we could advise you, but I think it would be great if you could have at least a skeletal program, and then we could help you to match who's the best speaker. If we know the language that is widely spoken in that country, we will help to match a speaker who could speak that language.
So that's what I think the committee should not just teach, it should improve, capacity build.
That's right.
Dr. Jaime, if I may ask you, in Latin America, do you think the CME committee's footprint is adequate? Or would you like it to spread all over, beyond Bolivia and the bigger cities like Argentina?
First, I want to clear something. When we started the program, the CME, we are at that time it was very important for us. And we're trying to combine two strategies. First, we looking for the main problem in our city, in our hospital, in our region. And then how to arrive and to solve the problem. The first, for example, a kidney injury is for us the main problem because we have a high mortality in newborn PQs. And for that reason, we dedicated to do something like to know more about the problem and to take or to contact the best speaker or resource that tries to support our work. Second, we send to do visit to the Boston Children's Hospital in order to get to write a proposal, combine them with us, and then come here as a speaker, trying to stay for 2, 3, 4 days, or using the ambassador program to produce a very good impact. For us, it's the best. Then we move to other in pathology, for example. With the adult nephrology, we're discussing about what are the main problems in our in pathology daily work. Then one or two of them went to the speaker that we think that they are the best, and then to work with it, and then coming here, but they know what we were looking for. And at that time, for all the speakers are very good selected and support us all the time. Since the beginning of the visit to Cali, they remain forever. Not visiting very often, but writing. This is the main way that we have increased our activity. On the other part, we are increase our activity in the South America. For example, 1 year ago, we got a sister renal center with Ecuador. Previous, we have been working since 2015, and we were 2 visits to Ecuador, and we arranged to create a pediatric nephrology Ecuadorian association. And now we apply for IMNA and ISN, and we're working with a new program.
I think it's quite obvious that ISN is just sort of multiplying. It's growing from a few centers to multiple centers, and I think that footprint should expand. Madam, most of us, when we get applications, we see there is a limited number of speakers who are being asked to be part of the CME, or we see the speakers are being repeated many times. I'm sure this huge community of 9,500 professionals, we can have a much larger repertoire of speakers from all over the world. Would you think a role of a speakers bureau, or we have a CME committee has its own set of speakers who they feel have really committed in the growth of CME committee? Will that help, or we let the organizer of the committee decide whom they want? Because they may know the ground situation may be better for them.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenging question, actually, but Adrian was talking about selecting the best person to deliver these talks or speeches is critical. Probably understanding the culture is going to be critical. Yes. The experience about training is going to be critical, because this is a CME course, and you have to be more talented, sorry to use this term, but in education or training, and reach out to the hearts of the people that you will be training actually there. And language barriers is critical. When it comes to Latin America or Spanish speaking, or sometimes thinking about sub-Saharan area, French speaking speakers will be great. Of course, delivering the talk in English will be fine, but when you go out into the community and be networking, the native language is critical to learn about how the patients are feeling, and talking about reaching out to the community, going into the hospitals, seeing the patients there. You'll feel more better if you're using the native language, so that you get communication with the physician and the patient care, so it makes things easier. But as you said, we are a large community and we have very young colleagues joining us, and hence we should ask the Young Nephrology Committee whom they would also suggest as speakers. And this has been a motive, as far as I know, from the CME committee, that there's someone from the Young Nephrology team, and that program as a CME program is more promoted than the ones without the Young Nephrology committees, and they want to be involved. So that's probably how to learn it out.
But I do notice that there are certain speakers that are often requested, but I think to the people applying for the CME support is really to consider a variety of speakers. So you get exposed to a variety of ideas and how patients are being managed.
Yep.
You do not want to learn only one way of treating patients.
It's an exchange of ideas.
That's
Yeah.
right. So you want to have different speakers, different years. Otherwise, you're going to get bored with the same speakers, and I can guess what you're going to say next. So that becomes boring, and you don't
as you
grow.
said, if the speaker is a different one, he learns more from the
Yes.
training.
Oh, there's-
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Any thoughts from your side?
No, one strategy is how to amplify the audience.
Yeah.
Try the people know the ISN.
Yeah.
The adult nephrology, many adult nephrologists, they don't know what the ISN is. We know in our country, the people know more, the pediatric nephrology know more than the adult nephrology. And for that reason, we're trying to get relationship with other associations. The general pediatrician, the general internal medicine, trying to put in knowledge of them what is the International Society of Nephrology. Really, in South America, I don't know, it's different to Asia, Europe, North America. We don't know too much about International Society of Nephrology. During the last 5-6 years, we're trying to know more International
I
Society.
think the ISN
Like a
CME
mission and
committee
vision.
will change this.
Yes.
As it,
No, really, it's
I
real.
think beyond Kali, we will have many other places where you will have CMEs in the future. Adrian, in the next 2 years, what do you propose to do?
Well, I think number one, we want to bring support to everywhere that needs CME as much as possible.
Yes.
I think we want to advocate to a lot of local society who has not applied for support to do so. At the same time, I think what we want to do is to put in place a fair system that we can support as many society as possible. I think we want to also identify speakers who would not only just go there to give their talks, they will be there to translate their experiences to the young nephrologists or trainees to be. And I think we also want to make sure that the speakers that we send will be able to communicate the benefits of being an ISN member. So it needs to go beyond just CME.
So that is the question I want to ask. How do you propose to take the message of all the initiatives of ISN during a CME committee?
So ISN is such a huge organization. We have so many programs that some of us who have been involved are a little bit confused as well. But things are getting clearer. I think Rümeyza and myself, we were in a meeting yesterday, and now there is cross-talk between all the different committees who are supporting educational program, the Sister Renal Center, the Regional Training Center Committee, the Mentorship Committee, the Fellowship Committee, the CME Committee. I think we are starting to find that we need to have some form of synergy. I think it's not difficult for ISN to develop a slide deck to talk about the different programs that ISN has. We could start with that talk at all the CME, so to promote what are the benefits of being an ISN member, what are the programs that you can have access to.
Especially fellowships.
Yeah, and in fact, I've been a speaker and in a particular country, and that's the first time that they realize that they can spend a year overseas to be trained in a particular field through the ISN fellowship program. So they didn't know about that beforehand. So I think the speakers that we select should not just go there to give a talk, come back, and has nothing to report on. So I think that's something that we hope to improve
I think
on.
they do much more to the country if they spread the message of ISN than just the talk.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things they can get.
right.
I have been a fellow. I have also learned from CME meetings. And in fact, when the ComGAN started, it was called Global Advancement of Nephrology.
That's right.
So it's just not CME. I think we should, as you said, he's very particular about having rounds, talks, skill building. That should be, I think, linked with the CME.
That's right. Yeah.
meeting.
Definitely.
From Latino American point of view, I think the ISN opened the door almost 6 years ago when in Lima, Peru, took a very nice relationship with Islam, the Association for Latin America. And this is the second opportunity. And the other thing is, it's possible, why is very low the link, the Latin American with the International Society of Nephrology? It's possible the language. This is a barrier. We need to down the barrier because, you know, everybody needs to speak English. Not too good speak English, understand English, but it's the way to introduce into Latin American groups that are very strong groups. We need to support
We are
them.
coming at the end of our meeting, and as usual, I'll have the lady to have the last word. So, anything that you would like to give a message to the
Yeah, I just want to remind ourselves that we will be coming over the language barrier as we have started with this Congress using the AI-assisted translation tools, which I hope that will make life easier for all of us. We don't need to learn another language to be able to follow all the educational programs. So that's one of the future, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the ISN and the whole ISN community, all the members and the committee members and the CME group and all the other members as well. So thank you.
I think I would also like to thank ISN for giving us this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to bring forward all the initiatives that ISN has. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And so please apply.